Choose your destiny. Flawless victory.
What's going on, guys? LordKing here again, back with another UFC review show, UFC Singapore, Holm versus Correia. Again, this one should be quite short. I'm only going to be going over very, very briefly Holm versus Correia and RDA versus Saffiedine, mainly because I thought they were the main two that stood out. Overall, though, the card was absolutely incredible. I really enjoyed it. As I always mention, these ones that almost have the less sort of hype around them, they tend to actually be better, simply because just people want to try and make a point in things, and a lot of the things as well, people were trying to show themselves that they're revamping their career on this card. So it was very, very good to see. And again, it was very nice being in the UK, having this card on a lot earlier. It was on around 1 o'clock-ish PM, so over here, so it was nice to have instead of the 3 AM sort of thing we normally get. So looking actually into the card, what happened, we had roughly a 8.6, 8.4-ish K attendance, total gate of 839,000. Fight of the night we had Jingliang versus Camacho, which was absolutely great. Performance of the night, Holly Holm and Uka Sasaki. And honourable mentions where I put Harris, Doan, Tuck and Dos Anjos. Now, to look actually very quickly, because I'm only going over the two fights, Jingliang showed incredible great chin. He looked absolutely great in that. He took some very, very hard shots in the opening round and managed to keep working his way, showed a great chin and won that fight, which was great. Holly Holm, I'll get into a bit more. Uka Sasaki was losing the whole fight and then pulled off an incredible choke. It was great to see. Harris, a great knockout. Doan, a great, great finish. Tuck, a really good finish. And RDA, I'll go over a tiny bit more in just a moment. He's kind of back. I think when these sort of people go back up to their natural weight class and instead of cutting loads of weight to get down, you normally see, we've seen it with Donald Cerrone, we've seen it with Jorge Masvidal now, and I think we're going to see it with Dos Anjos as well. Looking into the actual card itself, as I mentioned, all the results as you can see them on screen now. So Holly Holm, Correia. Holly Holm won. Arlovski actually lost. I thought he was going to do a bit better than this. Tabura basically managed to take him down quite comfortably and laid on top of him for a significant amount of time. In all fairness, it was very, very good control by him. Covington showed us some incredible wrestling. Again, those two fights weren't the most exciting, but he did show us some very, very good wrestling, and no one really wants to mess with him in the wrestling department. RDA showed us he is back. This is his traditional sort of RDA, putting the pressure on and constantly walking his opponents down, showing no backup or whatever we have. The Tuck's win was great again. It was almost an upset. Harris's win was an incredible knockout. He has some real power. Caceres had a very good win as well. Unfortunately, it was a doctor's stoppage, I believe, but it was still very, very good. And then Justin Scoggins Sasaki. Scoggins was actually winning. Scoggins is one of my favourite fighters. He has some incredible kicks there. It's so great to watch. He's comes from one of those sort of karate point backgrounds, so he's very almost Steve Wonderboy Thompson-esque. And he was basically winning the fight in a pretty dominant sort of way, and it went to the ground. His coaches told him to stand up and not mess on the ground with Sasaki. He didn't listen, unfortunately, and he got rear naked choked. I think it was a rear naked choke, yes. So it was unfortunate to see, but it's a learning curve for him. He should now remember this could happen in the future. And Doan as well. Doan, he showed for Hawaii. He's also there on the list for Hawaiians, as long as Max Holloway as well. Now, Correia versus Holly Holm. Again, I'm going over very briefly. This head kick was incredible. This fight was relatively tentative to begin with. What I put on the actual bad side for both fighters, they were both quite tentative and weren't that aggressive to start off with. Holly Holm being quite a methodical sort of thinker, and Correia, meant to be the pit bull, as she's so called, should have been a bit more aggressive, I think. She basically started taunting Holly Holm. And unfortunately, to say it like this, I probably shouldn't make my opinion so clear, but I think I will anyway in this situation. I'm not a fan of Correia simply because she's far too arrogant for her skill level. She started almost taunting Holly Holm. This is a split second before this kick landed, and Holly Holm had basically been setting up this question mark kick where you basically go for a front kick teep and you turn it into a roundhouse kick last second. Luke Rockhold does some phenomenal ones, and she was basically taunting Holly Holm for this for a little while, a couple seconds before this happened, and Holly Holm was setting up this kick beforehand, and eventually she landed it very, very clean to Correia's head, put her onto the ground, and Holly Holm pretty much finished the fight from there. It was great to see, and Holly Holm's basically revamped her career with an incredible head kick, as everyone remembers Holly Holm's first major head kick, which was Ronda Rousey's KO. So she showed us she's pretty much back in that sense. Holly Holm, what she did right, she showed us she's very, very patient. She won't rush into things. She won't get kind of bought into the taunting from Correia. So we saw some great calmness from Holly Holm. Correia, I can't really say anything good or bad about her because I think she was too tentative, and she should have brought the pressure onto Holly Holm as well. Correia, I'm going to give a 1/2, maybe a 1.5. Holm, I'll give a 4 for being very methodical about it. She could have maybe been a little bit more aggressive to start off with. That was the main highlight of the fight, was the kick. There was no controversial things like the reffing or anything like that. No contentious moments apart from the taunting. So overall, it was great. RDA versus Safadine is the only other one I'm going to go over, simply because it showed us that RDA, Rafael dos Anjos, for those who didn't know, is pretty much back, in the sense he brought back that very old sort of style we're used to seeing from RDA, where he puts the pressure on, he walks through people's punches, he has that incredible head movement, so even when he's walking forward you can't hit him. It's almost ideal what these people should be doing when you're an aggressive fighter like that. He has great cardio, he puts the pressure on, and he won with a pretty unanimous decision in my opinion. Safadine did show us some great sort of striking as well, but RDA pretty much neutralized everything. He has some good takedowns and landed some very, very good shots. I'm hoping this is the start of a great welterweight career from him. What both fighters did right, Safadine had some great striking, I thought, and it looked pretty crisp actually. And what he did wrong is I would have liked to see Safadine do a little bit more judo, one of his good things, maybe on the takedowns when RDA was clinching. RDA, what he did right, the pressure was incredible, the actual everything in general, from his kicks, he was doing some very good kicks, his punches were great, he looked very crisp, his cardio was good. What he did wrong is maybe he could have come out a bit quicker out of the blocks. I think again it took him a little while to warm up to it, but once he kind of figured out Safadine, it was plain sailing in my opinion. What's next for all these fighters? Holly Holm, she's going to go back up into the ranks. She basically says she wants either the 145 title next or the 135 title next. So featherweight or bantamweight. Bantamweight champion is Amanda Nunes, and the featherweight champion is yet to be decided because Germaine de Randamie actually got stripped of her belt. And it will now be between Chris Cyborg and Megan Anderson, so that will be coming up soon. So Holm maybe kind of said she wants the winner of that fight or the 135 title. So either or could happen. Holm is an absolutely huge name. I was a little bit unaware as to how big Holly Holm is. In Singapore, apparently, the main reason why she was the main fight for this card is simply because she's such a big name. They requested it specifically, which is quite a cool thing to basically know Holly Holm is a people's favourite. I think mainly because she did the old Ronda Rousey head kick and ended Ronda Rousey's reign, which was great as well. What's next for RDA? He's going to keep going on, hopefully, and ascend his career in the welterweights. It will be great to see who he fights next. Maybe RDA versus Cowboy could be good. We've seen that happen once, but maybe a welterweight, it could happen, be a great fight. Again, the other people on this card, they all look like they have great careers. I think Andrei Arlovski, I personally think his career may actually be done. It's not nice to say, but I think he's on a 5 losing streak now. So it's unfortunate to say, but it could be a thing. Colby Covington, he pretty much called out the champion and said that he wants a title shot, which I thought was really, really stupid in the sense he just come off a relatively average win. He's calling out for a title shot and things like that. It wasn't too smart, but again, he looked very good. So that basically wraps this card up, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it if you did watch it, and I hope you enjoyed my review as well. Look forward to many more reviews and preview as well. We have Chiesa versus Lee this weekend. I shall also be previewing in a very, very brief one. I'll save the longer ones for the main cards, simply because I'm sure you guys don't like listening to me ramble about this, and you'd rather see me play some Xenoverse. So I do this for enjoyment though, so I hope you all enjoy it as much as I enjoy making them. As always, please like, share and subscribe. Make sure you check out all my other videos. And as always, I've been LordKing. Goodbye.